Hi, this is Linda, and I'm doing Talking in American English again. This is lesson 17 in that series. And this lesson will be about the letter R because so many of my students still struggle with pronouncing the R in a way that is understood in America. Now, R in other countries is pronounced differently, and so I'm going to do a little comparison. The British R. In England, the R is pronounced differently from the way it is in the United States. It's more like, in some words, some words, and some words it doesn't sound like anything. For non-native English speakers, sometimes the R also gets more of an sound or an aw sound that is different from the way we say it in America. I think of it more as a difference in making like a tube with your throat and your mouth and your tongue and your teeth. It makes more of a round, long tunnel coming out with the sound. Whereas in American English, it's more like what I'm picturing here. If I can do this, I'll put this down. Say this is your mouth and these are your front teeth. In American English, the tongue stays flat. And if you're saying an L, you put your tongue right behind the front teeth right there. And when you pull it back so that it doesn't touch, but it's still curled the same, word, lurk, we just pulled it back, lurk, lurking. If something is lurking, it's waiting somewhere around you, getting ready to jump out at you. They're lurking. So that's a good word to practice. Lurk, lurk. You just draw the tongue back a little bit so that it's not touching the teeth, but it's still curved and the tongue is flat. Lur, lur. Here are some words that compare the way we say the R in English that's American English versus whether you're in England using the British R or the non-native English speaking R. Now this applies to the ending R when it's close to the end of a word, not so much at the beginning of a word. We get it all the same at the beginning of a word. Is when we get to the end or further into the word that it changes. Like in American English, this would be hard, farm, form, work, star, start. But in British English, it might be hod, farm, form, work, star, start. In American English, we say the word horse, heart, enter, better, or sometimes better, but it's In British English, it might be horse, heart, enter, better. Very different. These words in American English, care, dare, fear, appear, hear. But in British English, care, dare, fear, appear, hear. Now, I'm not a British English speaking person, so I may not be getting it quite right, but you can hear the difference. I apologize. I love British English and I love to listen to it. But American English is different when we say an R toward the end of a word. Another group of words in American English, before, more, door, for, the number, for, poor. Not rich, but poor. In British English, it might be before, more, door, for, poor. In American English, board, store, barn, park, dark. We always pronounce the R as In British English, board or board, store, barn, park, dark. You don't even hear the in British English. So if you learn British English and then you go to America, you may have to make a few adjustments in order to be understood. Now, how are you going to practice that and remember it? I'm going to give you some short poems. This is very much like Dr. Seuss poems for children, but this is not for children. It just uses that pattern of rhyme and rhythm that sounds sort of like some of his. So I'm going to give you 6 different ones, and I'm using as many R words as I can squeeze in. So it's not great poetry. If I were writing it better, I would use different words, but I'm using R words as much as I can in many different subjects. So number 1 is actually about something that's going on or has been going on recently, the fires in California. Fires burn both day and night. California's suffering is not right. Firemen and women are working so hard to break the spread of drifting sparks. Now, if you don't know some of those words, there's a vocabulary lesson at the end, but some of you don't need that, so I'm saving it to the end. Number 2. Do you care that it's not fair? Beware of those who do not care. Have no fear, help is near, but who knows where, here or there? You hear the R, every time we see it. And these are 2 other ways to say this. You could say beware, or you could say be wary, or you could say be aware. I'll talk about the difference later. But the R says every time you see it. Here's another one. It's about a girl who has a lot of work to do, so her brother helps her. The girl's work is hard and much worse than the work she performed before. It's far better to work together, said her brother as he entered the door. Her brother and others started sharing the work, and by 4, all the chores were done. Then everyone gathered and shared a soft drink, and everyone had lots of fun. Lots of R's. It's a silly poem, but it uses the R's. 2 more on this page. Number 4. This is a love poem. I'll love you forever and ever. You just get better and better. We're together and never will part. Your presence brings joy to my heart. And number 5 is just a story about a farmer building a barn. The farmer needs several more boards to construct a red barn on his farm. He went to the store and bought 4 more. Now all of his horses stay warm. And the last one is a little bit longer. It is philosophical. That means it's thinking about the meaning of life and things like that. Okay. I drove in my car to a nearby park on purpose to stare at the stars. Overhead in the dark, those far away stars removed all the cares from my heart. The sunrise arrived, birds soared in the sky, squirrels scampered and chattered close by. took 2 pages to do this one. As the light grew stronger, large trees, grass, and flowers refreshed my heart more and more. I felt calmer and better, wrapped snug in my sweater, and my worries and fears disappeared. Nature, a healer, so clear, fair, and pure, brings comfort to all, rich or poor. Now I'm going to do the vocabulary, and if you don't need the vocabulary, just stop the video here. But if you need it, I'm going to explain some of the words that were in the poems. The first one, presence. Presence is a noun that means you're here, you're located here, being near with someone. They know you're there, even if they don't see you, they know you're there close by. There's another word that sounds the same, presence, but it ends in a TS and it means gifts. Suffer means feel great pain. Drift is float without any purpose or particular direction, floating whatever way the wind blows. Drift. Spark is a tiny fire. Beware, as a verb, the way it is in the poem, means to watch out for danger. Beware of danger. Now, there are similar words that could be there. Be aware. That's the verb be, and then an adjective. Aware is an adjective, and it means give close attention. You're giving close attention to something. Be aware, but it may not be dangerous. You may be aware of the time, be aware of the speed if you're driving, but it doesn't necessarily mean dangerous. So it means give close attention to what is happening. It may be good or it may be bad. Be wary is like the word beware. You are looking for danger. Be wary. You're looking around. I'm going to be sure nothing's happening. But this is a verb adjective, and this is just a whole verb. They're very similar. Perform. It means to do something. Many times it's used for performances of a band or a singer. They perform, but they're doing something, and that's basically all it means. Chore is some sort of job. You have a job to do. Chores are usually short jobs, and sometimes they're chores that you do every day, like sweep the floor and wash dishes. Those are chores. Soft drink is a drink that has no alcohol in it, but there are many drinks that do not have alcohol. When we say soft drink, we mean one that has no alcohol, but it also almost always has carbonation. That's the little bubbly, fizzy, you feel it tingling your tongue. There's no alcohol, but it does have carbonation. It is a carbonated drink, and we call them a soft drink. They're soft because they have no alcohol. Construct, that means build something. They took the boards and built a barn. Construct. On purpose means for a reason. When this person went to the park, it was for a reason, and the reason was to look at stars. Stare means to look, but it's look like this. I'm staring. I'm not just looking, I'm staring. So you're staring at the stars. And then a few more. Overhead is a good one. It means somewhere above your head. It could be here, it could be very high, but somewhere overhead will be stars, moon, birds flying over, something over your head. Soar means to fly, but many times the bird's already flapped its wings and then it just soars without flapping its wings. It's just riding on the air, soaring. Scamper is to run quickly with small steps. Goes the squirrel or mouse, something scampering. It's also called scurrying, but we use the word scamper. Chatter means to make quick mouth sounds or words. Chatter would be that an animal might make, like a squirrel, or it could be people talking. I'm talking and you're talking and we're chattering. Chatter, chatter. The word chat comes from the word chatter, or maybe it's the other way around, but they go together. And a chatterbox is a slang word for someone who just talks all the time. They walk in the room and talk, 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 and no one else gets to say anything because the chatterbox is talking. Refresh is to renew, to bring back a good feeling. It was warm and then a cool breeze came in. It was refreshing. Rap, without the W, it's a kind of music, rap music. But with the W, it means something is around you. I'm wrapping myself in my sweater. Wrap. And it keeps you warmer usually. Snug is how I feel when I'm all wrapped up. I'm all snug. The word snuggle comes from snug. If you have your baby, you snuggle your baby, or if you have an animal that you love, you snuggle your animal. You bring them close as though you're wrapping yourself around them and giving them a hug. So that's snuggle. Disappear means you can see it and then you can't see it because it disappeared. If it appears, you can't see it and then you can. That's appear. Disappear is you see it and then you don't. Or you experience it and then you don't. My pain disappeared when I took medicine. So it means it's no longer there. It goes away, not seen or not felt any longer. Healer, from the word heal, which means to get well. One who brings good health is a healer. Clear and fair and pure in the poem mean almost the same thing. Clear means there's nothing showing, like in the sky there are no clouds, so it's clear. And also you can see through it. I can see through my glasses because they are clear. And then fair has many meanings. Fair can be also clear as the sky is fair. Usually fair means there are a few white clouds, but mostly not much there. So it also can mean honest and equal. Be fair when you're playing this game. Don't cheat. Be honest and let everyone have an equal chance. This rule is not fair. It favors this person and makes it hard for this person, so it's not fair. It's not equal. Fair means it is equal for everyone. It can also mean pretty, like what a fair face you have. It also can mean an outdoor community event. Everyone in town went to the fair. They had games and maybe a merry-go-round and a roller coaster and a Ferris wheel. Those gatherings are called fairs. Pure means there's nothing in it that doesn't belong. There's nothing bad in it. It's pure. And then comfort means make someone feel better. You didn't feel good and someone came and talked to you or gave you some good food and it made you feel better. They comforted you. So nature can comfort as well. So those are vocabulary words that go along with it if you need it. Otherwise, I hope the poems will help you practice the letter R. Next time I will talk more about more formal things, but pronunciation needs to be in there. Thank you. I hope this helps.